Meantime, there are a lot of questions about the $250 million construction project that is happening right now at the White House. Crews already at work demolishing the East Wing to make room for President Trump's new ballroom. It's something the president said earlier this year would not happen to this extent.
It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it, but not touching it, and pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite.
But things have changed. The president says construction costs will not be paid with taxpayer money. But now the organization that supports the preservation of America's historic buildings is demanding this demolition be immediately halted. NewsNation's Hannah Brandt is live outside the East Wing of the White House there. So, Hannah, what more have we learned about the groups paying for all of this?
Well, Nichole, this is a privately funded project, according to the White House, and the construction actually happening as we speak. I'm going to move aside so I can show you. We're standing outside of the gates of the East Wing of the White House, and we're zooming in on that construction. You can already see part of that demolition process seems to be underway. Here's what the White House says the plan is. They're going to build a 90,000 square foot ballroom. The president says it's going to hold nearly 1,000 people, and it's projected, as you said, to cost around $250 million. But that's something President Trump says is funded by donations from private donors, including from President Trump himself, something he joked about just yesterday at an event. Listen.
You probably hear the beautiful sound of construction to the back. You hear that sound? Oh, that's music to my ears. I love that sound. Other people don't like it. I love it, Josh. I think when I hear that sound, it reminds me of money. In this case, it reminds me of lack of money because I'm paying for it, so it's the opposite. But it's going to be one of the most beautiful ballrooms anywhere in the world.
Now, here's some context for you. This is not the first time that a president has renovated the White House. It's undergone several major changes. Like, for example, in 1902, that marks a modernization process under Teddy Roosevelt. And in 1952, Harry Truman gutted and rebuilt parts of the interior of the building. But this ballroom project is seen as different. It's drawing concern and criticism from a number of historical groups who point out this time, which is different from in times past, the White House did not seek approval from outside groups or go through a public design or consulting process. And I spoke with Edward Lengow, the former chief historian for the White House Historical Association. He tells me he doesn't think this design is in line with the ideals and the visions that the founding fathers had for the People's House.
I think they would have been appalled by this. Jefferson, in particular, would have lost his mind over this. Washington, I think, also would have been deeply disappointed because I think it is the wrong idea.
The White House not swayed by the critics. It seems they're pushing back in a statement saying, quote, in the latest instance of manufactured outrage, unhinged leftists and their fake news allies are clutching their pearls over President Donald J. Trump's visionary addition of a grand, privately funded ballroom to the White House, also calling it a bold and necessary addition. And I would note this is just the latest in a number of renovations that President Trump has made to the White House since moving back into it this time around. He's also paved over the grass in the Rose Garden. He's installed 2 flagpoles in the lawns of the White House, and he's added some gold accenting to the Oval Office as well, Nichole.
All right, so Hannah, we talked about it at the top. Some groups raising legal concerns about this ballroom construction and this demolition.
Yeah, that's right. Those legal questions, certainly a part of the criticism that this project is getting. Of course, this project at a larger scale than the other renovations I've mentioned, so it's getting that larger pushback. I want to read you a statement that was sent to us by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. They said, in part, we respectfully urge the administration and the National Park Service to pause demolition until plans for the proposed ballroom go through the legally required public review process. These processes provide an essential opportunity for transparency and public engagement. Now, in that note, they also mentioned concerns that they think that this new size of the ballroom, which will be very large, or at least is slated to be, will really dwarf the White House, will overwhelm the current White House as it stands. They also mentioned concerns that it conflicts with the current classical structure of the existing White House, Nichole.
All right, Hannah Brandt, live for us there in D.C. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.